I think it might be the perfect time to go inside and do some stitching. Come along with me. Hi, Enzo. Look, we're going stitching. Come on, load up. Well, welcome to my mobile beehive. I have been asked by a couple of subscribers, why am I not sewing in the trailer? And there's one reason: room. What I found was the difference when we had our motorhome and traveled last time long distance. It had a bench table and 2 chairs and a couch with only 4 feet more than what we have now. But that allowed G and Enzo to have more than enough space while I took over the dinette area. In this system of trailer, all we have for seating is this area. And if I set up a sewing machine here, it would intrude on G's space, and he would have no place to go. This is our only seating area. So sewing for me with a machine this trip will only happen if we get some good weather. And as you know, around the country, including here, it has not been great weather. No chance for me to hook up and set up a sewing machine outside and do some sewing, which is what I love best. So hopefully down the road, the weather will improve and I'll be able to actually do some machine sewing, cutting, pressing, that kind of thing. But in the meantime, I have more than enough stitching to do. And this is my stitching area. When I sit back here at night and I'm watching television, I use my pillow, my stitching pillow, which you can find the tutorial on the Quilt Roadies. But otherwise, I sit here at the table, and at the table I don't need the stitching pillow as much, or I could actually put it this way. We turned this table around rather than across to give us more room to get in and out, and just ease of movement in here. So it does require me to lean forward, so I do bring that pillow over here. I have 4 stitch projects going right now. I'm working on my bag cover from my Sue Spargo retreat workshop, and I am working on bullion stitches all the way down on the road. I'm bringing this road across and working on those bullion stitches there. And I still have some other embellishments to go. I love looking at what other classmates are up to with their projects. Cross stitch, modern folk embroidery. This was a free download. I'm getting closer and closer to having that one done. And then I am working on an embroidery. So you see the variety? It keeps my mind totally engaged. So this is the, it was a free download on Crabapple Hill, but I've heard that it's no longer available. But I'm using a Weeks Dye Works variegated thread and doing this kind of red work embroidery. So I'm working on that. That engages a whole different part. And then I'm almost done with this block of my Autumn Harvest Buttermilk Basin block of the month. And I kind of, as Ariane and I say, we spargoed it, using spargo as a verb. I love that. And added some extra stitches on here, just a bit, not a lot. But the stitch I want to show you today is the trellis, and it's one of my favorite stitches, the trellis and the bullion. And this is a finished hubcap, and you can see how absolutely wonderful that turns out. And over here, I am in the process of working on it, and it's the last stitch on this project. So I'm going to show you how you do it. First of all, when you're going to do the trellis stitch, you have to do a running stitch around the edge. Now, you know I'm a fuser, so I fused my hubcap down, and so it's not whip stitched down. What's going to hold it down is the trellis when it's done. Then you do a running stitch all the way around the edge, and you don't pull it real tight. You just make it lay nicely. And once you have the running stitch all the way around, you come up from the back between two running stitches. And once you come up, I don't know if you can see this, but there's this running stitch all the way around the edge. Now I'm going to take my needle and go under one of those stitches. You see how that needle is under that stitch? And then I'm going to bring this. It's kind of like when you taught your kids to tie their shoes. I'm going to bring this thread over the top, around the post, and then I'm going to hold the needle and pull it through. Got a little extra thread in there. Pull it through, and it makes this little knot. Then I'm just going to go to the next running stitch, go under it, bring my rope around the post, hold it with my thumb, and pull my needle up, and it makes a little knot. So now I have made a little string of knots around my running stitch, and I'm ready for the second row. So how you do the second row is I grab this thread and I'm pulling it off, and I'm going to go in between two knots. So I go under the thread between two knots, and I do the same movement around the post and down. So I'm going to grab that thread that's between the two knots, bring my thread around the post, hold it, and pull my needle up through. And it makes a second row of knots around the circle. With thicker thread, this will go faster, but I wanted this finer thread, so you have to be patient according to what thread weight you're using. So I'm going back under the thread between two knots. I'm bringing my thread around the post, pulling it down and holding it with my thumb, and then just pulling the thread on through. And we're going to get that second row of knots around. So as you can see, I've taken a couple of passes around my little hubcap, and it's starting to pull in, but I'm running out of thread. So now what I'm going to do is go through to the back, pull my thread to the back. I'm going to remember where I went to the back, and then I'm going to knot it off. No big secret there. Then I'm going to rethread my needle. make my knot at the end. And now I'm going to come back up where I left off. And again, I'm going to hold the thread over. I'm going to only pick up the thread between the last two knots, wrap my rope around the post, and then pull that on through and make another knot. And I'm going to keep going around, only picking up the thread, the top thread between the next two knots, and then wrap and pull. So as you go around, you can see that this is starting to stand up a little bit. So eventually, probably about the third or fourth pass around, I'm going to start skipping every other knot so that I can tighten it and bring it in like this one. And you see the swirl that's occurring? And I might have to skip every 3 spaces to make my next knot to bring that in tight. This stitch was similar to what was used in crazy quilting, where they might put a penny or a button and get it to tack down on the project, because it wraps around and you can pull it tight and it's holding the piece in. So stay tuned. So as you can see, I have been going round and round, going under the thread between the knots and then making my little knot. At one point I skipped every other space. That's to bring it in tighter. And then I went back to every space. So now I'm just every so often skipping a space as I go around. I put the needle under the thread that's between the knot, wrap it around there, and then just pull it through. And I'm going to keep going around. Every so often, I might skip one every so often. You can't really even see when you've skipped something, because as you pull it, it tightens in the twirl. And I'm moving it around, and eventually, see, I'm getting that thread that's between the two knots. And then I'm going to pull this thread over the top of the needle, around the needle, hold it down, and pull my needle through to make that knot. See? And when I get all the way to the center, I'm just going to pull my needle all the way down through the center and knot it on the back, and I'll have a perfect hubcap. So I'm going to keep going. I might need to get another thread though. So I've made the circles all the way around. You can see the swirl, and now I'm going to pull that thread to the back and knot it off in the back, and there's my little hubcap. This trellis stitch is the most fun when you're using variegated thread, because you get to see the dimension of it. And then look at, so I just have a little bit of stuff there. Know that if you get Sue Spargo's stitch book, it's going to really help you with this tutorial. I always have to refer back just in case I'm having a little difficulty. Well, thank you for hanging out with me today, and I hope that the weather has improved back home and that you're out stitching with your girlfriends and that you're all safe.